Hello everyone. So in the previous class we were talking about Python functions and we have built some amazing Python like multiplication tables with help of some functions. We have created our own functions to create our multiplication tables, right? So we are continuing our functions, and the class for functions will be talking about. Now we'll be moving further to some functions, structures, and how functions are made, and some other small topics about functions. So let's get started. Okay. So if I talk about functions, so let's talk from the scratch. What are the functions? Functions are nothing but a block of code which performs a specific task and can be called again and again as per requirement in the code. Previously, we have seen for doing multiplication, we are calling a simple function and we are just passing a and b, right? So that was a thing we are calling again and again. Like if you remember, I told you, right, about uh, for example, right, that if we have to like fill a bucket with help of a mug, so we have to again and again fill the mug. But if we hire a boy called Ram will fill the bucket with help of mug. So what Ram will be doing, Ram will be filling the bucket. What we will be doing, we'll just call Ram again and again. Whenever we want to fill the bucket, we'll call Ram, that Ram fill the bucket, and Ram will be filling the bucket, right? So this is simple with the functions also. like uh, this is called function. So if we have to do a simple task again and again, if any kind of task we have to do again and again, we just create our own function to do this, and whenever we need that function, we can just call that and the task will be done, right? So a generic way to write a simple function is shown below. So we start to write functions with the def, that means defining. Def means define. So this def keyword is reserved in Python. So we start to create our own functions with help of this def. Then the function name, we have to give this function name, then parenthesis, okay, and then you can do anything. Function body starts, okay, and whenever you want to call the function, you would just write the name and with the parenthesis, okay. DRY, it stands for do not repeat yourself. It means that a code generally should not contain repeated blocks of code. So if you observe in your code repetition of certain lines of code, then you can also make it a function and call it as per your requirement. Let's see an example below. So you can see this is a function name, okay. Yeah, see, this is called greetings, okay. The function name is greetings, and it will be printing hi there from ineuron, okay. So if we need to print each and every time this greeting, we'll just call this greetings and our task will be done, right? We can also pass some values to the function. These values are also known as arguments. A function can have following kind of arguments. Keyword arguments, here we define the names of arguments, right? Example, observe the below code from expressions, operators, and precedence chapter, okay. You can see bike is true, car is true, okay. Travel 100 kilometer, bike or car, that means true or true. So I'll be talking about this, or like or and kind of things, and now we'll be printing if you have bike, so this bike, okay. If you have car, that car, and if you have travel 100 kilometers, travel 100 kilometer, that means this, okay. So what is bike? Bike is true, car is true, travel 100 kilometer means true or true, okay. So there is a there is a table called boolean table, okay. True means 1 and 0 means false, okay. So are we talking about this? No issue. Now block 2, bike is true, car is equal to false, travel 100 kilometer is equal to bike or car. So that means here true or false, okay. Now if we have bike will be this, car will be this, and travel 100 kilometer equal to this. Okay. Block 3, bike equal to false, car equal to true, travel 100 kilometer equal to bike or car. Okay. So this kind of thing we can create, but if we want to do with a simple function, we can also do this. So this whole many codes we don't have to create, right? This kind of thing. So just a simple function, define travel or not, bike, car. Okay. Travel 100 kilometer equal to be bike or car. Print. If you have bike, that will be bike. If you have car, that will be car. If you can travel 100 kilometers, that will be this travel 100 kilometers, that will be some or kind of statements, right? Okay, let me find the thing. Okay. Now one thing, like there is called something variable length args. Okay. At some point there may be chance that you don't know how many args that you should pass. Let's check the example below. Okay. Let's check the example below. This define branch subjects. So this is a function. Okay. And we just pass args when we don't know how many arguments we are going to pass. There can be 2, there can be 3, there can be any number of arguments we are going to pass, right? So the thing is, so we are just defining a branch and subjects in graduation. Okay. Then we are just passing arguments and branch. Okay. Now print, my branch was branch. What is this branch? This branch is this. Okay. And return, this is f string. F string means this is a like string formatting I taught you, right? I like these subjects in graduations. What are the subjects? So that can be any kind of subject, right? That can be any kind of subjects. So this is how we can pass args. So let's implement something. Okay, let's try to implement on our own. Okay, let's create a function called suppose whether inside that I'll be passing arguments, right? args. Then suppose rain, and then suppose sun. Okay, and we have to give a colon here. Okay. Now if rain equal to true, return f string. Okay, whether is rainy. Okay, f string is not introduced. Okay, now if sun equal to true, return weather is sunny. I hope this is clear. And arguments wise, we can store anything like the whole, return we can do print here. That will be okay, because when you return something, that whole function returns it and the whole code stops executing itself. Okay, so that is why we use return when we don't need to like proceed further for the code. Okay, print whether it's sunny, and now return what to return? Return f string the weather details the okay, let's suppose we don't need to pass the args here. Let's create it the simple examples. Okay, let's execute this. I think okay, there's error because if you start any string with single quotes, you have to finish it with a single quotes, otherwise it will give you error like this, right? So let's call this function weather, then suppose rain equal to false because today's weather is good, right? And sun equal to true. Let's see whether is sunny. Okay, so this is how we define functions with the help of this define keyword, then the function name, then the parameters, right? These are the parameters and arguments, you can say. Okay, now let's do something. So define a function, okay, which can multiply all the numbers. Okay, define functions, and we don't know how many numbers we are going to pass, right? So let's create this mul. Okay, then we will pass just args. I mean any kind of number, like any number of arguments, any number of numbers you can pass here. Okay, return. Okay, return okay, first of all let's create a sum of multiplication result equal to 1. Okay, then do one thing. Here will be integrating a for loop for I in args. Okay, that means whatever the args will be, that will be iterating through this for I in args. Okay, let's just print the args. Let's see if this is getting printed or not. Mul 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Let's check this. See, we are getting this, right? That means it is getting this. So now simple formula means simple thing we will be doing for multiplication, right? So result is 1, right? So what we'll be doing, result multiplication. Okay, this kind of thing, you know, right? That means result equal to result plus result into this kind of things I taught you, right? Result equal to I. Okay, now let's see, return result. See, we can do like this kind of thing also. 2 3 4 5 6 then 7. Check this. Okay, so this kind of thing we can do, right? So this is a simple multiplication function we have created. So we just passed any kind of numbers, any number of numbers we can pass here, and it will be just giving the result. But what if we just pass 2 arguments here? Let's see, define mul2. Okay, now suppose a comma b. Okay, now if I want to check the result equal to be a into b. Okay, and one thing, return result. Okay, now what if I give more than, like, how many arguments are here? 2, right? So if I pass more than 2, like suppose 4 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9, what do you think? It will be giving error, or what it's going to do? Let's run this. See, it is giving you error, type error. Mul2 takes two positional arguments but four were given. That means if we give the two arguments here, we if we and then if we pass more than that number of parameters, it will be giving you error like type error, this kind of things. Takes two positional arguments but four were given. So if we have to pass any kind of numbers, we don't know how many numbers we are going to pass. So then we have to simply call this args method, right? Static args. That means there can be any number of arguments. I don't know, you are telling to Python that I don't know how many arguments are there. I just give the arguments. Okay, so this is how we can do like this. So this will never give you error, no matter how many arguments you are passing here. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay. Now let's talk about this return and print statement. Okay, so if you see, I give you this print, and here I am returning something. So what is the difference between this, right? So this is a good question. So let's check this. So if I run this function, it is telling me this weather is sunny, and if I run this function, it is giving me this. So let's see if I can store this, because it is a result, right? So let's try to store this. OWEA. Okay, let's try to store this, and if I just print WEA, it should print something, right? So it is not printing something. And let's see with the return statement if this can be like printed here. Let's see, ml equal to this, and let's print ml. See, it is getting printed. So there is a simple difference, right? When you return something, the whole function will be this value, returning this value. But if you just print that, you will just only see the output. You can just only see the output. You can return something, right? And the function won't store anything. But if you just return something, that whole function will be storing this, and you can store that value into any variable. But in terms of print, you can do this, right? Okay, so let's proceed further. Functions inside functions, that is an interesting concept. So we can define functions, but we can also define functions inside functions for our use. Let's see. Let's suppose I give you, right, df calculator. Okay, and now you can see, like let's do this with args. Okay, yes. Okay, args, and now the thing will be like operation. Okay, so let's check this. So let's define something here. Define add. This is addition functions. Okay, define add. You can see these kind of things. Okay. Adds. Here we can also pass args, but these args and these args are not same, right? This is the args which is defined inside the add function, and this is the args which is defined in the calculator function, right? So let's check this. Define add. What is that? That means what it's going to do. Let's check this. Result equal to 0. Okay, for I in args. Result here will be plus equal to, right? Result equal to result plus, that means plus equal to, we can use I. Okay. Now return something, return, because returning a value means we will be getting this value here. Return what? Return result. Same thing, let's define for subtraction also. And in subtraction, you will see we can only pass two values, right? Okay. Or we can do once, if we have so many numbers to subtract, that means, what do you know, we have a largest number here and others are the small, right? So if you remember, that in our school days, what we do, like we have is largest number in, like suppose there is 1 2 3 4 5, so we have to subtract all the things. So what we do, we just calculate which number is largest, right? Okay, and then we can just subtract those kind of things, right? So that we can implement, but let's not complicate this. But for as of now, we'll be talking about this kind of things so in future classes, but let's not complicate things earlier. So let's we'll be not passing arguments here, we'll be passing a comma b, okay, for our easiness. Okay, and return if a, and if we have this, we have to pass, then return a minus b. Okay, parenthesis, indentation, this is called indentation. Okay, this gap. And in Python, indentation is must for if, else, for loop, or these kind of things. If else, like if a equal to be greater than b, then it will be returning a, or a minus b. Otherwise, else return b minus a. Okay, right? And we can also multiply. Okay, let's not complicate these things. Only subtraction and addition will be there. Let's do this. Calculator. Okay, so we have to call these functions here. Okay, first we have defined that, but we have to call the functions, right? So if operation equal to add, okay, what are we doing here? def, sorry, we will be calling the functions here. Return add of args. Okay, same thing, if operation equal to sub, then return sub of a comma b. Okay, a comma b, that means args. So let's see args of 0 and args of 1. This is the list, right? So let's see if we can have that, if we have any error or not. Let's see args, that means, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and operation will be add. Let's see. Okay, so we'll be having an error, right? Unsupported type of for integer and tuple. What is a tuple, by the way? What is a tuple, by the way? I think this args are the tuple, right? Okay, let me check this. Let me check this. Okay, this is a tuple. Okay, so we have to iterate that. Okay, so addition we have to pass here, right? You can also just do this kind of thing. Again, we know how this is tuple, right? So let's see, like tup here. Okay. Now we just iterate it and let's see if it happens or not. Return add of args. What is the issue? See, this is okay right now. Okay, let's check this. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. See, this is okay. Right now let's do this like subtraction. So it will be taking these two values only. Okay, these two values if it will be taking here. Okay, so this is how, this is a like simple calculator function, right? This is how we can define simple calculator functions like this. Okay, and let's see how many methods are there now. Now, anonymous functions or lambda functions. What is this? Anonymous function or lambda functions. So let's see. We have just created a function here, right, to do multiplications. Okay, let's create this with the lambda functions also. Okay, now lambda, you can see the syntax here. We can store this inside this variable. Okay, so we'll be taking a variable called multi. Okay, multi, store this, lambda of, what is this? See, lambda. So these are the parameters, these are the arguments, and it is the output. Okay, so this is how lambda functions are created. So let's see, a comma b. Now we give a colon. Now return, what will be returning? A plus b. Now let's just call this. So this is how we can just pass the parameters, and we can just like return this. So let's call these functions. Okay, let's pass. How many parameters are there? How many arguments are there? A and b, right? That means 2, 3 and 4. Let's see, 3 and 5. Okay, you can see this is a simple function, right? So lambda is very like friendly, user friendly, and this is very helpful when you just want to write the code in some one line. So if you remember the comprehensions method, right, that means list comprehensions, and there's that kind of dictionary components we have used, right? So that means we just want to take all the codes in one line, like comprehends the code. Okay, so this is simple. This is also that comprehension technique, right? To comprehend all the functions here. Okay, now these kind of things are done with the lambda functions. Okay, now we can also do this f string. The result is, now curly braces, and then return that. See, the result is 8. So this is simple, right? Let's take a further look. Okay, now let's discuss for variables, that is scope of variables. What is the scope of variables? Variables defined inside the functions are known as local variable. Global variables can be accessed anywhere in the script, unlike local variable whose scope is defined within the functions only. Let's check. Now define a function. Define, suppose some I can give, okay, a comma b. Okay, now the thing is, like suppose if I want to store this variable into sum equal to b. Okay, sum, okay, sum equal to b, a plus b. So until we return this, we can have access this with sum. Okay, so this is a variable obviously, right? But this variable is called what? This variable is called the local variable. But what if I define a variable here, like result equal to be 45. Run this, and now if I want to like return res plus sum. Okay, let's see sum. Okay, let's like this is already a function, so let's like name this anything else, sum f. Okay, sum f, let's see 4 comma 5, so we're getting 54. That means 9. 45 plus 9 equal to be 54. That means we're getting this. That means we can access this res variable here, right? But do we can we access this sum here? If we just don't return this, we can just access this. This we can't access, right? If I just like type sum, see, name sum is not defined. That means inside a function, if you define if you add any variable, we can't access this outside of the functions. That in the functions we can access that, like, right, you have seen that we can access this here. Okay, can access this here, but outside that we can't access. That means it is local variable, and this res is what? This is global variable. So global variable can be accessed in anywhere, and like local variable can't be accessed outside the functions. Only inside the functions local variable can be like defined. Okay, you can see this, like, right, these variables we can access here, but outside that we can't access, right? Now docstring. So this is a good like habit to have a docstring, to give a docstring to each and every functions. You can see how to do that. Just triple quotes here, you can see triple quotes. Okay, triple quotes here. Now write, this is a function to some values. Now in that. Okay, now run. you can't notice anything, but if you just press shift and tab, that means I told you right how to check the functionalities of that functions, any functions. Just press shift and tab before parentheses, shift and tab. You can see this is a docstring we have created, right? And if I just delete this, let's delete this. Will there be any docstring? Let's see. See, nothing, no docstring. So that is why we have to define the docstring. So this is very friendly. Docstring is very needed when you want to know, like you have created for like 40-50 functions, you don't know what functions do what, right? So just docstring can help you for this. Okay, so docstring is very much helpful and necessary when you define any function. So try to have and practice that to define docstring, obviously when you like define the function. Okay, see, this is already like docstring. This is a good way, in a good way this has been written. Okay, so this was all about the functions. Now if you just move further for the like lambda functions, you can also create that like light. So let's create this one, like cal, okay, equal to lambda, okay, lambda. Let's suppose we can store x and y, then colon, then what do you want to return? Okay, so we are just defining a simple lambda functions here. So now we can just add our if else statement here. Okay, now let's write this like x plus y equal to b, okay, x plus y, that means it will be return x plus y if op equal to add, else what it will be doing, else if, and let's suppose there will be add and like anything else, so it will be returning like subtraction of values. If x greater than y, this you know, else x minus y, if x greater than y, else y minus x. Let's do this. See, it is happening. Okay, 3,6. See, if I just write add here, sorry, see, this is 9 now. So this is all about lambda functions. So you know how useful this is, you can see. So this is how we can define a simple functions with just one single line, right? So this is very helpful when you want to do these kind of operations in such a small thing. Okay, so this is how simple you can like do this kind of thing. Okay, so let's check if we have anything else here. Okay, one more thing. So you know this args functions, right? This args, there is also a kw args. What is this? Let's see. Define, let's suppose write suppose what subjects, okay, marks, if I say marks. Okay, now just here will be static kw args. Okay, now what we will be doing here, just write one thing, for key comma, just dictionary kind of things, you know, key comma value in kwkw print the string will be here. I got, here will be value in, here will be key. Okay, okay, now let's call this mux. Okay, you can see, let's press shift tab. You can see docstring you can provide, so not here, here. If I just run this, nothing will happen. Let's check this. Suppose so let's check this, what is happens. Okay, for key comma value in kwkw dot items print, I got this value will be here and key will be here. Let's run this. You can see I got 50 in English, I got 56 in life science. So you can see how cool it is. You can define anything. Let's suppose history equal to 67, so history will be here also. But like suppose French, if I say French equal to 68, you can see. But what if I give anything that is not similar with this syntax? That means anything like 60, 70, 85 pass, it will be giving you error. See, that means we have to pass in kwkw also, only kwkw only we have to pass. That means kwkw means kw, key value pair. Suppose environment env, yes, evs, we have 78. See, so if we write static kwkw, that means we have to pass values in like this key value pair, and we'll be having access to the key and value both. Okay, so this is kind of thing what we can do. So we have just learned here kwkw and args, even args. Okay, this kind of thing we have covered here. So I hope the functions are pretty much clear for you. So I hope this is very informative for you. So yeah, just repeat yourself and just try to like revise those things, and it'll be okay with the functions and this lambda functions, the kwargs, this args. Okay, this kind of thing, just repeat yourself. Okay, so I think you are enjoying the class, and try to repeat yourself, and you'll be good in like this kind of functions defining. Okay, so for this class it's done. So I will be talking about some more like functionalities of functions or more methods, and obviously the true false table and the boolean table we call it. So we'll be saying this, the truth table, so in the future class. So be with me, and just keep learning things. Okay, bye bye.